On today's episode, we are continuing our discussion of email. We'll be back in the Google Workspace today discussing email management through the use of labels and filters. But have no fear, Outlook users. Our next episode will focus on using similar tools in Outlook. In Gmail, there are three methods for creating filters. The first method for creating a filter in Gmail is within an email itself. So let's create one for this newsletter. Within the email, go to the three-dot More Options menu and scroll down and click on Filter Messages like these. Google pre-fills in some information from the email to make it easier to create a filter. Now click Create Filter. And for this one, I want to apply a label that it is a newsletter or marketing email. So let's create the label marketing. Click Create. And to manage our inbox, we want to skip the inbox or archive that email. Remember that archiving is not the same as deleting that message. These archived messages are always available through the All Mail label on your sidebar. And we want to mark as read, and I'll show you why for that shortly. We also want to apply the filter to two matching conversations, and then click Create Filter. Gmail shows you a preview of the emails that match the filter conditions. You're all set. Go back to the inbox. Whoops. And that email is now gone. It's been filtered and it's in the marketing folder and it has been marked read. So there's no unread number here. Another method to create a filter in Gmail is using the search bar Show Search Options icon. Click on the icon. And this is great if you know the email address that you want to filter. For example, this one will pretend is an email message from my boss, and I always want to make sure I see those messages. Create filter. Now this one, we don't want to skip the inbox because I want to make sure I see it. I might want to put a star on it. That will help it stand out. And we also want to apply a label. Let's create a new label, the boss. Click Create. And Gmail tells us that there's another email that could match this filter. So we click that. And we do not want to mark these as read because we want to make sure that we see them. Create filter. And here is that email. And we can see that the boss label has been created. Go back to our email, go back to our inbox, I'm sorry. And you can see that the boss label has been applied. It's been starred, but this just doesn't stand out as much as I would like. So to make that stand out more, we go down to the boss label, click the three-dot menu, and we're going to select a label, color, and text option. Let's try this one. Oh, that looks much better. That's going to stand out and make sure that I see that email. The third method for creating filters in Gmail is through the Settings menu. Click the Settings icon and then See All Settings, and then go to the Filters and Blocked Addresses tab. You can see the filters that we created earlier are here in the Filters menu. To create a new filter, you would click on Create a New Filter and the same filter box that we've seen before appears. But knowing where this is in the settings will allow us to come in and edit any filters that we've created previously. Let's try this one. Click on the box, click Edit. And let's see, what else do we want to? We want to make sure we never send these messages to spam. Let's apply the filter, the matching conversation, update filter, and we can see the message that it's applied to. We're all done, so let's go back to our inbox. Oops. So there you have it, 3 methods for creating filters in Gmail. Before we go, let's talk a little bit more about labels. You can consider labels to be folders with superpowers. Let's go to my Read Later label. And here I have filtered certain emails that I've sent myself from Twitter so that I can read something later. You can see here that it shows that there are 3 unread emails. That's helpful for me to know. So when I created my filter, I did not mark these messages as read. Then I know how many emails have piled up for me to read. Once I've gone in and read that email, I will then file them under whatever label is appropriate. For example, this one I know is going to be a tech tip later, so I would use the Move To icon to send it to the tech tip label. Let's apply the labels research and tech tip to this one. I've already looked at it, so I'll take out the read later. Apply. And then this last one, let's apply the label. We're just going to move this one to research. So now there are no emails under read later, but there are 2 in research. But you will notice that this one also appears under the label tech tip. And there are 2 here with this one, the one being the one that we saw in the research label. So the labels are great because you can have something appear under both labels where they would only be able to be saved to one folder. I hope you've enjoyed today's tip, and we'll be back next time with information on how to do similar things in Outlook.